Hi, hello, hi, welcome. My name is Wendy Martinez, also known as the Geek Goddess here on YouTube, and today we're going to be talking about some brand new horror and thriller book releases that are going to be coming out this fall of 2024. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and just jump right into it. So starting off with September. So the first book comes out September 10th, and it is called So Thirsty by Rachel Harrison. This one is going to be retailing for about $29 hardcover, and this one we are following our main character Sloane, and Sloane is just about to have her birthday. And she does not like having her birthday because she realizes that she's getting older and older and older, and her life isn't getting more put together the older she gets. If anything, it's just falling apart more and more. So she's shocked when her husband pays for her for an all-expense trip weekend with not him, but her best friend, Naomi. And Naomi's she's a little special, okay? Because she's crazy. Not crazy in like a loony bin sort of way, but she's very destructive. She tends to get into situations. And so Naomi and Sloane end up going to this like cottage for the weekend, and she expects to just go wine tasting and, just really relax with her best friend. But Miss Naomi, she has other plans. She's like, no, Sloane, you have to learn how to control your life. So she ends up taking Sloane to this whole huge fest, right? This whole huge fest that's like full of crazy things, and now Sloane has to deal with eternal consequences. So that is So Thirsty by Rachel Harrison. If you guys have the Aardvark box, this is one of the book options for September. Alright, so this next book also comes out September 10th, and it is called Guillotine by Delilah S. Dawson. This is the same author of Bloom, which was like a really famous like horror book, or at least a lot of like booktubers that I watched have been talking about this one. And in this one we are basically following a thrift fashionista named Des. Right, and Des is dating this guy who's really like arrogant and obnoxious and full of himself. But the reason why she's dating him isn't because she likes him, but because she wants to get to his mother, who is like the editor-in-chief for this like huge magazine called Nouveau Magazine. So finally, after dating this guy, she finally gets an invitation to their weekend family getaway on their private island mansion. And she decides to go. Of course she's gonna go. And so once she goes and the ferry that takes them to this island leaves, things take a dark turn, because all these servants on this island have been forced to sign these contracts, and they can't say anything. They can't even leave the island at this point. And they feel like the only thing that they can do in order to finally get the freedom that they want is to get rid of this family for good. And now Des is stuck on this island with them. This one sounds so good. It reminds me of Epstein's Island mixed with that new movie that just came out with Channing Tatum. It sounds so good, and I really want to watch that movie, so I know that if that's good, this is going to be good. It has very similar synopsis, reminds me of each other. Very excited for this one. I definitely want to be checking this one out for sure. Like, it just looks fantastic. Looks like a 5-star read. Love the cover. Love the cover. Cover is stunning. Okay, so this next book comes out September 17th, and it is called A Sunny Place for Shady People by Mariana Enriquez. And this is a collection of 12 horror stories, short horror stories, featuring 12 spellbinding new stories by this author and she writes about ordinary people, especially women, whose lives turn inside out when they encounter terror and the surreal and the supernatural. I am probably going to be picking this one up because I'm currently on my first Mariana Enriquez book. I'm reading The Dangers of Smoking in Bed. This is also a collection of short horror stories, and I am more than halfway in, and I am having a great time. I've loved every single story so far in her collection of short horror stories, so I feel like this one is not going to disappoint either. So I have high hopes for this one. I'm definitely going to be checking this one out. But let me know. I know Mariana Enriquez is also very famous for her book Our Share of the Night, and I feel like this one is going to be another great one by this author. The next book that we're going to be talking about is called The Hitchcock Hotel by Stephanie Robel, and this one comes out on September 24th, 2024, and it's going to be retailing for, again, about $29 hardcover. And this one we are basically following a guy named Alfred Settle, who's a huge like Hitchcock fan, right? Not only is he a fan, like he is a super fan because he opened his own Hitchcock hotel that has Hitchcock memorabilia, they have Hitchcock movie nights, Hitchcock props, and even an Avery featuring 50 Crows. On the first year anniversary of his Hitchcock hotel, he decides to bring his friends from college who he hasn't seen in 16 years. And yes, it can be a little bit spooky, especially after what happened, but who's gonna appreciate the Hitchcock hotel more than his friends that will help him finish up his Alfred Hitchcock creation? Because no Hitchcock movie is complete without a body. Now it is time for the October book releases. The first one is called I'll Be Waiting by Kelly Armstrong. This is a horror book. It's going to be coming out October 1st for about $29 and it's going to be the hardcover edition. Again, love the cover of this one. And in this one we are following our main character, Nicola. And Nicola got diagnosed with something called cystic fibrosis, and so she didn't think that she was going to live to adulthood. But then she actually made it into her 30s and she ends up getting married to this man. She finally starts to see a future, and she's never seen a future with someone before. And so she begins to get excited about that. But then the man that she ends up getting married to ends up dying in a car crash, and his last words to her are, "I'll be waiting for you." And then somebody ends up recording this incident, and they swear that it wasn't her her husband that said those words, but her deceased husband's ghost after he had passed, saying those words to her. So after that, Nicola gets kind of like, she gets all these like news stations and spiritualists and mediums that are like trying to contact her, until finally she talks to a medium, and the medium comes over to talk to Nicola, and things start happening around their home. And this one looks great. Love the cover. This one looks really good. I might be checking this one out, like, for sure. So next, coming on October 1st, is another Freida McFadden book, and it is called The Boyfriend. This is a psychological thriller, and we are basically following our main character, Sydney Shaw. And Sydney Shaw has tried dating, right? And she's dating in New York, so obviously it's pretty much a disaster. She meets horrible man after horrible man, until finally she hits that jackpot and she finds this man that is literally perfect. He's gorgeous, he's sweet, he's empathetic, he's a doctor at a local hospital, and she's like, okay, like, I am doing great. But then a string of murders start to come out in New York City, where there is this serial unaliver, and he likes to date his women before he unalives them. And our main character, Sydney, believes that she might be dating just that very man. This one looks good. I know with a lot of Freida McFadden books, she likes to throw in that twist, and I'm excited for this one. I'm probably going to be checking this one out. Every Freida McFadden book that I've read so far has been, like, I haven't found a book that I hate by her. I found a few 5-star reads, a few 4-star reads, like 1 or 2 3-stars, but I enjoy Freida McFadden's work overall, so I feel like this is going to be a good one. So this next book is called The Last One at the Wedding by Jason Rakulak, and this one comes out October 8th, 2024. So yes, this is the same author as Hidden Pictures, and this is actually a like thriller suspense novel. And in this one we are following a man named Frank, and Frank, he hasn't heard from his daughter in about 3 years. So he's shocked when she not only calls him, but she invites him to her wedding. And so when he goes to this wedding, he realizes that it's in this like private estate, right? And that his daughter failed to mention that she's actually marrying the son of a tech billionaire. And then he starts to like try to spend time with his daughter, and she doesn't really have any time for him, and she feels like he doesn't really fit into this family because his family is, you know, stinking rich. And so he tries to get to know the family more, and it seems like the family's a little bit off, and so he wants to pry at his daughter without forcing it too much. This one looks like a good one. It says that it's an edge of your seat thriller, so it looks like a good one. I absolutely love the cover. We shall see. We shall see. I don't know about this one. Okay, this next book looks so good. Like, I'm so excited for this one. It is called American Rapture, and it is by CJ Leede, the author of Mayfly, which I have on my shelf and I still have yet to read. Hopefully in October I get to read it. So this one, we are following a girl named Sophie, and she is a very good Catholic girl, right? Catholic girl. When finally she realizes that there's events going on in the world that leads people infected with this virus to start craving flesh. And then she realizes, she's like, oh my gosh, I have to make my way over to the Midwest to be with my family because the end times are coming. And this one is being marketed as American Gods meets The Last of Us in this epic and sweeping story about the end of the world as we know it. That just sounds fantastic to me. Yes, please sign me up. This one comes out October 15th for $26.03. I'm seeing on Amazon. Last but certainly not least, let's get into November, and I only have one book for November actually, and it is a thriller, and it is called Deadly Animals by Marie Tierney. And in this one we are basically following our main character Ava, and Ava has always been a very strange child, right? She's always been very into like the macabre. She loves to watch dead animals decompose. When she lives really close to like a main road, and it constantly offers up roadkill, so she's constantly like at the middle of the night she'll go out and collect whatever roadkill that she finds and open it up and like just record her, you know, the things that she finds. When one day she sees the body of a dead classmate just lying on the ground, and she decides to call the police anonymously because she doesn't want the police messing with her little rituals. And so she calls the police anonymously, and then pretty soon more and more people start showing up unalive. And so Ava takes it upon herself to start investigating these murders and find out who is unaliving all these students. This one looks good. I want to say that this one seems kind of predictable, but I don't know because I haven't read it. You know what I mean? Like, I kind of have a feeling that I might know the plot twist, but I don't know until I read it. So I might be checking this one out. It seems pretty interesting to me. Absolutely love the cover. It's absolutely stunning. So I might have to check this one out. I will probably be adding it to my TBR list as well. Anyways, you guys, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it. If you haven't yet, please hit that subscribe button and turn on that notification bell to be notified when I post. I post about twice a week. And yeah, make sure you hit that like button because it really helps out my channel. And if you made it to the very end, put an animal for Deadly Animals, the book. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!